Hey there folks, it's Handmade by Shirley. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry that I've not been on for a bit, but I have had COVID and I've really not been feeling well, but Happy New Year to everyone. Looking forward to a good, better New Year this year. So I thought I'd come on and do a bit of white on white cards today. So kind of prepped a wee bit of it already. So I've already got my piece of 5x7 card base even, and there's a slight difference in the colour. This is very, very brilliant white, and this is white, but it's more a cream. And what I thought, I've already embossed this with, it is actually snow embossing folder, but it doesn't matter, it's still winter and sometimes you do get snow still here. And what I wanted to do was just come on and do a sort of very kind of white on white sort of easy card using embossing and I've got some Hexagon die cuts that are in my stash, and I thought I might just cut a few of them out and just do something with that. So I've got my die cutting machine on the table. I don't always do that. I tend to die cut things off screen, but I thought, I'll try and do it on. So I'm using a Big Shot Plus. So I have my sandwich, which is well, the A plate. So the base plate, and then the A plate is usually for cutting. And then I have a clear plate, and then I'll put my die cuts in. Actually, I think I've got two bits of paper there by mistake, but I think I just need the one. And then I put those die cuts into the middle of my machine. And then I'm going to put the top plate on, which is another clear plate, and then I'll cut those out. So the screen might shake slightly, so apologies for that, but unfortunately the table will shake, so you can hear them cutting. So that snapping noise you hear is normal. That's what should happen when your dies cut into the paper. That's normal. If it's not going to go through, I wouldn't push it through. All machines are slightly different, so just do what sandwich your machine asks for. Don't copy mine, because for other machines, but for all Big Shot machines I would say it's probably much the same. So I am going to cut out another one because I want to just put two lots together to kind of strengthen it, because the paper that I'm using for this is quite thin. It's not thin, but it's not thick. So I'm just going to do that again. So let's put them through again. And hear the click, click, snap, snap, and as I say, that is totally normal. And that means it has worked. Oh. Obviously some people use like Gemini cutting machine or another type of cutting machine. You could use that as well, or I dare say you could use a Scan and Cut or a Cricut as well to do a similar thing. So as I've just used 3 Hexagon smaller sizes from my stash. I think these are Crafts 2 Hexagon die cuts, but I've had them for like years. I mean, going possibly 10 years. So I'm not sure if Crafts 2 do these particular ones. Still, they might, but I dare say there's other companies, but that was the 3 I chose. So I've cut them out twice. The next thing I'm going to do is just going to stick this piece on with wet glue. So I've got this wet glue, which is by Nuvo. Now I'll put all the things that I use in the description bar. Some of them will be current, some, as I say, won't be. They're just things that I use that's in my craft stash. I mean, this is relatively new glue that I've bought recently, and you would be able to get this on a lot of online stores. You can even get it on Amazon, as far as I can see. So you probably could get it, but it is from Tonic. So just should have a wee border because the base of the card's 5x7, and I just cut this 2/8 shorter of that each all the way around. So I'm going to so there's two of these, and two of these. So what I'm going to actually do is I've got another wee embossing folder here. Do not ask me where it is from because I do not have a clue either. As I say, I've had it for ages, so I think actually it was out of a magazine because it looks like it's come out something like that. So I'm going to emboss the wee hexagons. So for this you need this, if you're using this particular machine, you would need to change from your A plate to your B plate because that is for embossing and embossing folders. So you'd keep the base plate on, you take the A plate off, and you put the B plate on. Then you'd put your cutting plate, which is these clear plates. Then you get your embossing folder. Now I only want to do one of these, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer these on top of each other just to give them a little bit of strength. So I only need one of each to be embossed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wee embossing folder and I'm going to lay them in. Well, first of all, actually, before I actually even do this, I'm going to use some of this ink from Stampin'Up. Hopefully it works. Soft Seafoam. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swipe it across the embossing folder. So I'm going to swipe it across the top here. So before I actually put it on the plate, because I don't want to get it on the plate, I want to just swipe that across like that. And I just want this to be quite subtle, so this ink is pretty subtle. So I've done that a couple of times, and then the next thing I want to do is I want to put that one in. I'm not sure I'm going to get them all in actually. That one in and that one in, and then I'm going to pop that over like that, and then I'm going to put it on my, you see that's moved already. Not so good. So I'm just going to hope for the best, and I can always do it again if it's wrong. So there we go, just pop that in and hope for the best. That's all we can do. There's always a way out, isn't there? Alright, so I've popped that through and bring that back out. Let's see what we've got here. So yeah, it's kind of worked. Yeah, that's cool. I'm fine with that. The ink's not quite the best, but that's fine. So I just want to give that a wee wash with a wet or a damp cloth on the table, just to keep that from, well, just forgetting about it and it gets stuck onto the embossing folder. So anyway, let's bring this back into play. So what I want to do now is I want to pop these on, and I'm just going to pop them in place. Now I'm wondering if I just give these a wee bit of a rub. See if that would blend. No, it doesn't really blend. Oh, we'll leave as is. It usually doesn't do that, but it's fair enough. I wonder if even using some water, let's try. Just thought it might disperse the ink a bit better. It's not, it's a bit kind of splodgy. It wasn't really what I was looking for, but you know, I don't know if that's working or not. I think I'll just leave it because I don't want to make it worse. I suppose I could actually take the ink pad, because these are water based, so we push them to the side just now, because it's come out with that kind of dotty effect, which I didn't really want, which I was thinking more of a flat effect would come out, you know, it wouldn't be dotty like this. So you just pop, this is a wee water brush, and this is just some of the ink because it's water based ink, so you could actually go round it, but I don't think it's going to get rid of the kind of dotty effect there. I don't know why it's done that, but I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it? You know, it just gives a wee bit more texture, but I just thought if I went round that might, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, so yeah, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it. It's fine. But you know, these are water reactive, so you could, if you were using these particular inks, you could use those. So I'm going to pop these on. So I'm using that Zig pen that I've had in my stash for like years and I've never used. And I thought I'd use it because I saw somebody else using one. And they got really good results with it, so I thought I would just try mine. So that just, by putting one on top of the other, it just kind of strengthens them a bit, because that paper is a bit, well, it's not thin, but it's not thick either. So obviously you could use wet glue with this of any type. I'm just using that Zig pen because I wanted to see, you know, if I could work with it, if it was any good. And then the same on this one. There we go. There we go. There's our 3 pieces. So, alright, I want to just pop this together. I think that looks quite nice just as is, because it's just nice and plain. So I'm just going to pop this up on some foam pads. So I've got some foam pads here. Unfortunately they're all black ones because that's the ones I've got, but I will get some white ones again. That was all I had. So I'll just put one on the back of there, and they're quite big, but I do intend to get white ones again. These are fine if you're using them on darker projects, but that one's too big. So what you can do with that is cut it down to a size that would fit. So I'm just going to cut this up the middle, and I tend to keep a pair of scissors that are solely for sticking, like cutting anything sticky like tape or double-sided tape type thing. So we could have a bit of a space, or we could just have them clustered quite close together. I can't quite decide which. I think, yeah, that's quite nice too. Or you could have them, I guess, like that if you wanted, in a 3. But no, or yeah, just decide, Shirley. So I'm just going to go there. So another tip, if you're doing sticky pads and you want to have a bit of maneuverability, is another tip I saw was if you put a wee bit of Pritt stick onto the back of your pad, and that just gives you that slideability before you actually stick. Okay. So this will obviously take the backing off first. And just, there you go. And then I can just pop that one, I think, there. So take that backing off. And then there we go. Now I am going to actually make a handwritten wording, because sometimes you don't have the correct words that you want to put onto stuff. So it is quite nice to be able to just do a bit of handwritten stuff too. So I've got a sort of this black pen here, and it's quite a thin one. I'm not sure, it's just a Uniball one. So it's the micro needle. So it has got a very fine point. So what I thought would be nice if I just wrote my own. I might put one there and one down the bottom. So don't feel that you need to, I mean, obviously there's people who can't do this, or they think they can't do it. I think you really can. So I'm just wondering if I put another one of these, or 2, just because it's, no, I think what I'm going to just do is write. So I'm just going to write, and what you could do if you think you're not very, well, I'm not very sure about writing because I'm not very good at it, but you know, there's no right or wrong way to do anything really. So what you could do is put a bit of card underneath where you're going to kind of write, and then just write something. So I'm going to write be happy, and you know, just writing it like that, that's fine. And then you can come down a bit. Be happy. You're the best. And I think that that's fine. I mean, it doesn't look too messy, but it's fine. I don't think always you need to be stamping something or, you know, sticking something on. Try and use a bit of your own creativity as well. It's quite good to do that sometimes. So what I would probably do now, and obviously you can do this in capital letters as well, so that you're not necessarily using your own, if you think your own handwritten stuff's rubbish or whatever, you know, you can actually write in capitals, and then that, you know, it's just quite a therapeutic thing to do. So I'll cut this down a bit. I mean, I don't think that's particularly brilliant, but I don't think it's particularly bad either. You know, I don't see why people can't use their own handwriting to do, especially if you don't have many supplies. You know, not everybody can afford to go out and buy crafty things, because it's just, you know, they just can't. So use what you've got, and, you know, don't be scared to use your own handwriting or do your own wee bit of drawing. And I'm going to come on actually another video and do some actually hand drawn florals that are really easy to do. So watch out for that as well, because, you know, we can make our cards by doing it like that without necessarily buying certain things. So there we go. So just pop that on there. Now I'm going to just get rid of all these wee bitties because they're in the way. I'm going to bring that soft seafoam back in. I'm just going to do one simple thing with it, which is just go around the edge of that bit that I've just done. It just defines it slightly. So don't drag it through your ink pad, because that will rip your ink pad. So just kind of tap it on the edges all the way around, and then when you're doing it on a kind of white or lighter background card, it just gives it a wee bit of definition and helps it to stand out slightly, as you can see there. So that's all I'm going to really do. I mean, I could add some gems and things to it, but I'm not going to do it this time. I'm going to just leave it as is. And oh, sorry folks, hope you can see that card. It's just seeming to get awful dark in here all of a sudden. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed watching today. It would be really good if you could subscribe to this channel and just share my videos away, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Okay, thanks. Bye for now.